The event is a day's exhibition covering the various aspects of language and linguistics. It's divided up into all the relevant categories that falls into. So it's quite an interactive, there's desks you can sit at, listen to clips about languages and understand the concept behind that category.
This was a public lecture under the Being Human programme, and this was about bilingualism.
It was the workshop about the usage of metaphors.
Well, I have just, attended a workshop of metaphors, which was really good. I am fond of reading books, of poetry and of literature, so I think that the issue of the workshop is really useful when we teach languages, because metaphors are in poems, in any kind of writing issue that we do with our students.
I know the University of Kent are involved, and it's part of the Being Human Festival, which I found on Twitter.
The friend that I was here with told us about it, and the friend has in common the fact that she's bringing up a bilingual child and I and my wife are bringing up a bilingual child.
Yeah, the event today specifically was through Twitter. I started following the Being Human Festival and noticed the events that were more local to me, so came along to this one.
Well, it looked like a good family thing, and things are always fun, really. So yeah.
I'm conducting some brief interviews with people who have come to the exhibit. So just a couple short questions for you. First of all, what made you decide to come in today to the exhibit?
Well, it's also because I had a language about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you've just done a European Languages Day thing at school.
And there were like Chinese, Russian, which is sign language, and like Romanian and stuff like that.
Wow.
The fact that it was a Sunday was because I work full time, so it was easy to get to, and it was an interactive thing. I knew it would be a chance to find out quite broadly about the different topics.
I thought it helped with the degree level, because I'm doing English language and linguistics. I thought it would be a good start with phonology.
It was the lecture was delivered in a way that I could understand. I'm not a linguist at all. I have no linguistic qualification or study background, and it was very accessible and very interesting.
I pretty much would say that, the way we have the language really, alive here, and the people from many countries, and so we can keep our English up.
The fact that it was so interactive and it got your brain working and you had stuff to do.
Great.
It was interesting.
Oh, that's a tricky question. Probably doing the light bulb one.
I like the fact that it's the information is shared in a variety of different ways. So things you can watch, things you can read.
Yeah.
It's nicely hands-on, so it's a good variety.
I like it's quite informal, there's people around to chat to about the different topics, and I like the fact that you can find out more or less if you want to, and pick and choose the areas that you read about.
That it's very interactive, with a lot of people to ask questions to. What do you like about it?
Got lots of things to do.
The interactivity of the computer presentations.
I want to learn new things.
What was interesting to me was that this field of bilingualism, there's so many anecdotal stories about bilingualism and children in a bilingual setting, but actually that there's so much research to be done, and if you looked at the questions afterwards, like on autism for example, how important the area is.
Well, it made me think. The brain's a very complicated thing in your body?
Oh, out of everything, I don't know, all of it. I've got something from each part of it. I was quite interested in the brain side of it and how language is processed, but also the more social side and how it developed in very early communities as well.
Yes, quite a lot. I've made 3 pages of notes, and the most important thing is our 3.5-year-old child is confusing the 2 languages a bit at the moment, and I wondered if that was a problem. She actually confuses them in a very logical way. She uses patterns from one language in the other language, and what was said today was that it's not a problem, it's actually a skill, and that the mixing occurs according to rules. So that was fascinating and very supportive for us.
Oh yes, this workshop about metaphors is always, this kind of course, that we can learn more common sayings and phrases.
Yeah.
And even, as I have said before, it's, for me, it's poetry.
I've learned from people in the brain area that's drunk and one man could only say one word. Writing my name in different languages.
Have you?
Yeah, but there are so many pieces in your body.
Yes, lots, which I can't think of now, but some of the facts and figures about the language families and the number of languages spoken in the world and the construction of it.
More about speech impediments that I didn't know about before. So I did language, acquisition at A-level, but there's far more detail here.
Yes, I planned to go tell my wife about the 3 pages of notes I've made and talk a bit more about some of the ideas, the need for more interaction in the minority language. So it's very personal, and we'll have a look at the website and see what's going on there.
Well, I actually plan, to show my students in Spain, a little bit of what I have learned here. And so, as a student, I just wish to share, things that I have learned here.
Find out more about the brain and how it works, and learn different languages.
And probably about the neck and ear as well.
Yeah, definitely find out more about it. It's something I've been interested in for a while but haven't really looked into. Potentially going to an open day at the University of Kent to find out a little bit more about the modules and see if there's anything that might fit in with my lifestyle.
Probably go to the talk on Wednesday.
Well, I do want to go home and research more about the speech impediments, and I want to look forward into that into the future. So maybe my second year looking at speech impediments, or maybe language acquisition, or deaf children.
I might look into the baby. I found that really interesting.
Not really.
I think it's really good they do these sort of outreach programs because it's all about accessing knowledge
And they're
in
really
the general
fun.
community.
Well, it's a fantastic idea because it promotes the humanities, these subjects that are so important, very valuable, and you could see how much this was appreciated by the audience. Every questioner thanked the lecturer because it was so interesting and stimulating. Wonderful that it's free, so I'm very grateful.